In Seattle right now, over 36,000 City Light customers are without power because of, in a lot of cases, issues like this. Big trees are downed. This is in South Seattle, and a live look. It's going to be a rough morning for the owner of that car. Hopefully not too much damage from that fallen tree. We're going to check in with our crew in Seattle in just a few minutes.
And a devastating morning for a family in Edmonds. Let's get to Farah Jadrin in Snohomish County right now, where a tree crashed into a home in the Firdale area. Farah?
Yeah, this is not far from Madrona Elementary, Mimi and Jake. And behind me, you can see this large tree, one of many of the trees in this yard, came down, and you can just see what looks like smaller pieces of the tree, but it is a large tree according to South County Fire, and it did break through the roof. Thankfully, no injuries here. I saw at least 3-4 people leaving this home together, getting some of their belongings and getting some help here from the support team, the chaplain going through the home with them and helping them. This, it's devastating. In the middle of the night, you're woken up with a huge tree, damage to your home, and then you're thankful everyone's okay, but still a lot of stress to deal with. If you don't have something like this happening in your neighborhood or to your own home, I want to give you this tip, and we've already mentioned some debris on the roads. I'm finding big pieces of trees and branches like this just about everywhere we've been. You hit one of these with your tire just wrong, that's going to cause some issues for you as well while you're driving. So check the outages in your area, check around your neighborhood, make sure you don't have issues like this. No major outage here in this Firdale neighborhood, but those are spread across Snohomish County. PUD is reporting several thousand people impacted, homes and businesses. So a devastating morning here for this family. Thankfully, again, no one hurt. Live in Edmonds, Farah Jadrin, King 5 News.
That is good news. Thank you, Farah. We're seeing significant power outages in Seattle this morning. Let's get to Savannah Welch, who's live in South Seattle this morning, where we're seeing trees down all across the city. Savannah, what are you seeing there?
Well, Jake and Mimi, we're along Delridge Way, and yes, as you mentioned, the winds are so strong this morning, strong enough to bring down trees like this one. You can see it split the fence here in this backyard, and it fell on the hood of this car. There was another car in front of this one, but the owner was able to move it out from under the branches and get it out of the way of this tree. And also, Seattle police just got here, and they're blocking off this street. There's thankfully still power in this neighborhood, but that is not the case everywhere. We were in the Wallingford neighborhood a little bit earlier, and in that neighborhood we saw lots of downed branches, lots of tree limbs, also utility crews working to restore power, street lights that didn't have power. So if you're heading out this morning, make sure that, especially if you're in an area that's in the dark, take it really slow. Also give utility crews a lot of time and room to work as well, just because of those tens of thousands of outages we're seeing this morning. There will be a lot of utility crews on the ground working to restore power. Again, this neighborhood is still fine. It looks like the lines were not impacted by this tree, but again, that is not the case everywhere. In West Seattle, Savannah Welch, King 5 News.
Thanks, Savannah. And look at this. A huge tree fell on top of a car in Seattle's Green Lake neighborhood, bringing down power lines with it. 3 people were trapped inside until crews were able to get them out. And here's what it looked like on the east side overnight. Crews were working to clear this street in the Clyde Hill area. Hundreds of people are without power in Redmond and parts of Bellevue. As of 4:30 this morning, there were 200 outages in the Bridle Trails area. This neighborhood, if you'll recall, was hit hardest during the bomb cyclone back in November.
All right, Mimi, we're keeping a close eye on these power outages this morning. I was just on the Seattle City Light page here, about 20,000 outages. You can see it's really scattered all throughout the city of Seattle. I want to definitely point here to the west side here along the water, this sort of in the Madison Park area. A lot of outages here near Interlochen Park. The wider view with PSE this morning also indicates over 100,000, and in Snohomish County, we'll talk about you folks as well here. South Snohomish County seems to be hit the hardest. You have outages really all throughout this area. Mill Creek, you're hit awfully hard in that area. Really scattered outages with trees down in a lot of spots. This area here near Edmonds, a huge swath of Edmonds is out here this morning. We'll keep a close eye on things, but over 100,000 customers, Mimi, at this hour in the dark.
And Jake, we don't see this very often, but the entire neighborhood of the entire island of Bainbridge Island and Vashon Island also without power. It is very wet out there as well. Here's a look at the roads in King County overnight with the rain coming down. We had some pretty heavy showers, leaving the roads slick for the morning commute, and we're already seeing some problems out there. So let's get it over to Shantae. What's the biggest problem right now?
The biggest issue this morning, of course, those wet roads, but really, Mimi, the debris that you mentioned at the top of the show. So a lot of closures because of that. Now, if you look closely here on 405 near Northeast 75th Street, you can see this flashing light. So we have a ramp now closed because of some debris. For those of you traveling out near Kirkland, I just showed you a few moments ago. If you're traveling out in Maltby, you still have Highway 9 southbound closed between State Route 524 and 228th Street. But you see that purple line going southbound, but moments ago the northbound side filled in as well. So it appears the full road is closed now, but I'll have to confirm that for you in a few moments. Flooding is also still going to be an issue for some of you this morning. If you're near Falls City and Carnation, 24th Street is blocked between 309th Ave and Snoqualmie River Road. Out near Carnation, Snoqualmie River Road is blocked between 24th Street and Tolt Hill Road, and it's pretty widespread, as you saw from Jake's report not too long ago. Out in Bremerton, you have a portion of Highway 16 eastbound closed at Tremont Street because of a fallen tree, and then out on Bainbridge Island, State Route 308 is blocked both ways at Harvard Avenue, also for fallen trees. And of course, we can't get to everything right now, but each exclamation point you see here is either debris on the road, fallen trees, and only about 2 of them are flooding. So that just shows you how rough the commute could be for you this morning.
And those winds are still blowing out there around western Washington, so you're going to be dealing with some wind gusts out there. These are the maximum wind gusts since midnight, and you can see there were some really strong winds out there. A 53-mile-per-hour wind gust down towards JBLM in Tacoma, 52 miles per hour at the airport out at SEA, and then also 52 miles per hour there at Everett's Payne Field. And the maximum we saw from the official observations was 64 miles per hour out there at Hoquiam. We're just basically a really windy night everywhere up and down the Sound and across the state at this point, at least western Washington. Take a look at the current wind gusts. You see they have come down a little bit in spots, so the trend is good. I think we've hit our peak already, somewhere between about 2 and 4 o'clock this morning. We hit our peak wind gusts, but it's going to be a very slow decrease in the winds today. It's still going to be blustery this afternoon, nothing like the overnight hours, but for crews that are still trying to work on wires and such, it's still going to be blowing out there and making it that much more difficult for them. It'll be probably overnight tonight that we finally see those winds die off altogether. Checking the radar, also the rain's out there. You can see another band trying to work its way out of the Olympic Peninsula into Puget Sound. It was really driving earlier this morning, that's for sure. And you can see starting to work its way into the South Sound. And just basically a wet morning, looking at all of our cameras, a lot of water out there on the ground and blowing through the air as well. Our Queen Anne Tower camera really being moved around by the winds this morning. Take a look at the satellite image. You can see that low center is tracking its way just across southern Whidbey Island and then up into BC, where it's going to gradually weaken. Overall, first alert weather today, at least through 10 a.m. We may extend that into the afternoon. We'll watch those winds as we head towards later this morning, but slowly decreasing winds today. We'll see the heavy rain early, but that'll be turning off and on showers as we head towards later this morning. Power outages, obviously, and some local flooding associated with that. Now, landslide risks are up as well. It could be happening anywhere in western Washington. A real change in the weather as we head towards Wednesday. Today may be hard to imagine that today had happened. When we see the weather tomorrow, we'll have that extended forecast coming up.
Thank you, Rich. If you have pictures or videos of the heavy rain or the wind, you can text us right now at 206-448-4545. Help us tell the story in your neighborhood.